Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Hey. Come on.
Yes.
Come on. How about yesterday's men's football games? Two thrilling conference championship nail-biters is what I heard after getting back from watching a Broadway show. And let me just say this. If you haven't seen David Byrne's American Utopia, it is a total... it is a total home run. And now the Super Bowl matchup is set. The star-studded LA Rams versus the upstart Cincinnati Bengals. This is the most exciting thing to happen in Cincinnati since they found all that spaghetti under their chili. Now, according to every single ad I see anywhere on any show I watch, sports gambling is mandatory. So, here's my hot tip. Always bet based on which mascot would defeat the other mascot. So, Rams, they got horns, but I don't see any kind of sheep taking down a Bengal tiger, okay? 800 pounds, apex predator, razor-sharp retractable claws. Anyway, put it all on... Which city is that? Which one is that? That one, Cincinnati. Put it all on that one. All the focus will be on the top two helmet boys. Rams quarterback and golden retriever who wished to be a man, Matthew Stafford, and Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, seen here about to chase James Bond on a snowmobile. Of course, the biggest moment yesterday came at halftime of the Bengals-Chiefs game when there was a bit of an issue with the sound mix here on CBS. See if you can spot it.
Welcome you back to Arrowhead Stadium and the Verizon Halftime Report, the official 5G network of the NFL. Verizon. I'm James Brown.
As we welcome Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Walker Hayes.
Last week, he's got time filled and he's burning them.
The question is, the answer is time. That's what Patrick Mahomes did. At the last year's Super Bowl, he said, I'm going to protect my quarterback.
Perfect sound for anyone who wishes their halftime report was more like a date in a loud bar. You like Patrick Mahomes? What? Oh, give you your hat, you want to go home? I thought this was going well. But whether you're into the Rams or the Bengals, there's truly only one NFL GOAT. Tampa Bay Buccaneer and Abercrombie mannequin. You swear just blinked, Tom Brady. This weekend, there was some big news. After 22 seasons and 7 rings, Tom Brady may be retiring. So, bad news for your dad. There's a new retiree about to dominate the pickleball league. Brady retiring wouldn't end a legendary career. He's accomplished more than any other quarterback to play the game, even though he was drafted 199th overall, which just goes to show you anyone can be successful as long as you're one of the most gifted and attractive people in human history. Now, it might be a minute before old Tom can put on his sweatpants and go mall walking, because if he stays on the roster until the end of this week, he'll receive a $15 million signing bonus this Friday. Wow. I'd work 4 more days for $15 million. I'd even tape a show on Friday. Not this, I got a thing, but not this Friday, but it's some other Friday. Of course, Brady is known for more than just football. He's also been following a special diet so strict that on my show, I had to pressure him into eating his first strawberry and chugging a beer. But now that Brady appears to be hanging up the old football skates, the world may finally see what we've all longed for, Dad Bod Brady. Do it. Give us hope, Tom. Do it. One Florida resident who will not go away is former President Julius Geezer. While the January 6th Select Committee continues to look for the cause of the Capitol riot, the cause admitted to everything and threatened to do it again. He was down in Texas this weekend holding a rally because his father didn't hug him enough. And unlike the former president, the January 6th rioters have actually faced some legal consequences. And he was not happy about it, and he made this promise.
If I run and if I win, we will treat those people from January 6th fairly. We will treat them fairly. And if it requires pardons, we will give them pardons.
Well, As long as you're doling out pardons, you. Pardon my French. Now, what a weird platform to run on for president. I will pardon violent criminals. That hasn't happened since the famous campaign slogan, tip a canoe and murder all you want. Former president is currently under investigation in New York and Georgia, and he told the MAGA heads what he wanted them to do if he got indicted.
If these radical, vicious, racist prosecutors do anything wrong or illegal, I hope we are going to have in this country the biggest protest we have ever had in Washington, D.C., in New York, in Atlanta, and elsewhere.
So to recap, he's saying, I didn't send a mob to murder Congress, but if I ever face any consequences, kill my pretties, kill, kill. He has fly. He has the international symbol for flying monkey. He has absolutely no remorse about unleashing the mob, and he'll do it again. But a bipartisan group of senators are trying to make sure it never happens again. Yesterday, Maine Senator Susan Collins revealed she was working on a bill that would get rid of the ambiguities in election law that led some administration officials to argue that Vice President Mike Pence had the authority to throw out states' electoral votes. The former president took to his not Twitter to complain about that, and because I no longer do an impression of that guy anymore, that statement will be read by someone with his same level of emotional maturity, a 7-year-old boy.
And the Vice President Mike Pence had absolutely no right to change the presidential election results in the Senate, despite fraud and many other irregularities. How come the Democrats and rhino Republicans like wacky Susan Collins are desperately trying to pass legislation that will not allow the vice president to change the results of the election?
They have to pass the legislation now. That kid is...
Just the sound is wonderful.
Here's the deal. They have to pass that legislation now, but because before you did this, no one was deranged enough to try it. It's like a zoo having to put up a sign that says, please do not get naked, roll yourself in bacon fat, and break into the lion cage. Looking at you, Carl. The former president went on to take aim at Pence.
Actually, what they are saying is that Mike Pence did have the right to change the outcome, and they now want to take that right away. Unfortunately, he didn't exercise that power. He could have overturned the election.
He just said the secret words, overturn the election. That's admitting he tried to stage a violent coup. Johnny, tell the people what he gets.
Still no consequences for some reason. We live in hell. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Johnny. We want none. That's all we want.
That's all we want.
Well, in COVID news, there's slightly less of it. Around the country, cases are declining, which is why some state officials are saying it's time for Americans to get back to their normal lives while continuing to prepare for the next inevitable surge. Wow, that good news took a hard turn halfway through. That's like an airline pilot saying, well, folks, looks like we're gonna have you on the ground just a hair ahead of schedule because we've lost our engines and are plummeting toward Cleveland. Flight attendants, cross-check. Even Dr. Anthony Fauci agrees COVID might be going down, but it's not going away.
What we would hope that as we get into the next weeks to month or so, we'll see throughout the entire country the level of infection get to below what I call that area of control. Control means you're not eliminating it, you're not eradicating it, but it gets down to such a low level that it's essentially integrated into the general respiratory infections that we have learned to live with.
Basically, it's still there, and we just have to learn to live with it. COVID is like the tramp stamp of Smash Mouth lyrics you got in the 90s. It's not going away. We just have to learn with the fact that all that glitters is gold, only shooting stars break the mold. But some folks, always ready, but some folks are still mad at Dr. Fauci for knowing things. Specifically, Kentucky Congressman and boy asking to spend recess with teacher Thomas Massie. Yesterday, Congressman Massie tweeted, "You mustn't question Fauci, for he is science," with the quote, "To learn who rules over you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize. Voltaire." Okay, first of all, you can criticize whomever you want, even Fauci. Personally, I think he could have given us a little more leg on his In Style cover. Okay, don't be a calf tease. The thing is, that quote isn't from Voltaire, but rather from Kevin Alfred Strom, a notorious neo-Nazi who was convicted on child porn charges in 2008. Okay, Congressman got that one a little wrong. But Massie did post a second quote to clarify, "All that glitters is gold, only shooting stars break the mold." Winston Churchill. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Whoopi Goldberg and Congressman Ro Hanna. But when we come back, it's time for Meanwhile. Stick around.